Hello and welcome back to Our Sustainable Journey. I am Steve, and today I'm going to show a couple different clips. One, we set up some new worm bins, and I want to show you how we did that. And two, we had a crazy storm 2 days ago that I got a little bit on video. Just random hail came out of nowhere, surprised the heck out of us, so I wanted to show you guys what that looks like. Hopefully I have pictures of the hail. It was like the size of a quarter, and it was only like within a mile of our house apparently, because our neighbors got it, but then once you got a little bit further away it just stopped. So interesting, and we're about to get another storm based on the way these clouds are looking, so I'm gonna head inside and you guys can enjoy the video. So this is the size of the hail that we just got. So I'm gonna check for damage. The chickens were freaking out. The cows got inside. See, they're in the house right there. Good times, and it's still going. So I'm gonna check on these chickens, make sure they're okay. The ones in the barn were freaking out, so I was in there for a while. Hopefully there's no damage to the house or the barn. We'll see. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the 3 tubs that we created back in October. We added worms to them. So this is back October 25th, October 25th, October 25th, and we measured how many ounces. So I'm gonna measure how many ounces of worms there are. I'm probably gonna split them. And look, 650 subscribers. You can see that. Now we're up over 1,000, which is awesome. So really appreciate it. So that means you guys are either sharing the videos or telling people about it somehow, or we're just working the YouTube algorithm. Either way, I think that's neat. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these cement mixing trays and we're going to set up a number of breeding bins. I think I have 15 here. And I gotta tell you, it was at Home Depot where I got those. Buying 15 cement mixing trays probably looks a little weird because you should only ever need one. So I probably got some strange looks, but that's what we're gonna use. I have more of these, I love them. And we're gonna set up some breeding trays for these worms, specifically to increase the population so that we can add them to the CFTs or sell them to our customers. And I want to show you how to do that. Okay, the rest of this we're going to do in the barn because this building is air conditioned because of the worms. So it's currently 75 in here, and it's like 90, I don't know, 95 outside. So I'd rather be somewhere that's 75 versus 95. So the first ingredient that you want to add to your bins, so normally we added peat moss and shredded cardboard. That's what I like to do, but I decided to try cocoa coir. So I got a couple of bricks of it. I want to see how well it'll work in this type of environment. So that's what we're going to use. So you take your brick of cocoa coir, so it looks like this, and you add, this is 7 gallons of water. So I need to find a container big enough to hold that, or I'll just break it into pieces is probably what I'm going to end up doing. And that will be the base for the worms. So we'll start there. This is a 15-gallon tote that we used to have our worms in, and so I'm just gonna use that. We'll see how much this expands. Place cocoa coir in a wheelbarrow or a large container. Add 7 gallons of warm water gradually and evenly to the coir. And then step 3 is probably enjoy. Wait for 1 hour. Okay, so this might be a really long video, or I'll just edit it, one of the two. So let me make sure our water's turned on. We'll get that added to the coir. And for some reason we have a light out, so I need to change that bulb while we're waiting. You don't have to wait, I'm the one that has to wait. All right, so let's open this bad boy up. All right, so it looks like this. It's very crumbly, very, I don't know, dry. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pour some water in here. And we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna fill this thing up with 7 gallons of water, so I guess I'll just fill it halfway, and we'll see what happens. Let's put this on. There we go. Let it fill up around the edges here. Alrighty. Through the power of editing. There it is. Alright, so it's already feeling spongy. That's kind of neat. How quickly it soaks in there. It no longer feels like a dry, sawdusty material. It's soaking it up pretty good. So we'll come back in an hour and we'll see how this looks. Okay, so it's been an hour. I've added water twice now, I think. So it looks kind of like the swamp of sadness. So don't let your horses near this or they will get stuck. And if you remember that movie, you're as old as I am. All right, so what we want to do is you want to squeeze it out because you don't want all that juice in there. So it's kind of like a damp sponge, right? That's kind of the consistency you're looking for. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill it. I'm gonna fill up these trays, these cement mixing trays. So just put one right here. And let me grab a shovel. We'll just scoop it in there. All right. I always run my bins a bit wet. I know really bothers some of you. I've just always done it that way, and it works out. All right. Do one more. Okay, maybe one more. Lovely. Okay, so now we have this bedding in place, and what we need to do are add the worms. So I will go get them. All right, so they've hopefully settled. It's dark over here all of a sudden. So they are in the bottom of this bin, and we're gonna scoop them out and put them into their new home. Okay, so you can see there's a ton of them. So I'm gonna do, we'll say 1 scoop per. because we're trying to breed them. Maybe 2 scoops. Let's do 2 scoops. All right, so I know there's plenty of worms in there. You can see them all. Because these were our old breeding bins, and they're going into the new breeding bins. So I am going to do this until I run out of this. Maybe, we'll see. That seems like it's going to take a lot more trays than I might have. So I will get these all lined up, and I'll show you the finished product in just a moment. Alrighty, I did 8. I still have 1 whole breeder tub, so, but I ran out of room, as you can see. So I'm going to shuffle these around. I'll probably do 5 or 6 more, because it looks like there's plenty more cocoa coir to do more, and I have that whole other bin. But yeah, this is the way we have them set up. And so what I'm gonna do is I will feed them either, I think I have a little bit leftover worm chow, so I'll sprinkle in some worm chow. We'll leave them under the lights for tonight. That way the worms will dig down and learn to stay down in the cocoa coir, plus they're gonna love that stuff anyway. And then we'll build a rack for them. I'll show you that. I might have time this week to do that. So I'll show you what the rack will look like to hold all of these bins in place. And then we'll be feeding them and getting them breeding and going. So that's essentially how we set up the breeding trays that we have. So if you know, do something similar if you want to keep growing your worm farm. But yeah, this is really all you need to do, and then get them fed. So normally we'd feed them with the food scraps and stuff like that, but I still have a little bit leftover worm chow, and I've got plenty of manure, but the manure usually goes in the CFTs because I don't want to manually scoop it into each of these bins. So we'll probably just use up the last of the worm chow, or any dry foods that we have, and we'll get these guys breeding. So another thing I wanted to mention, because I just got the email about 5 minutes ago, is that we just landed a relatively large contract for us, a nationwide coffee company you may have heard of. They're kind of a big deal, but we're going to be hauling food scraps for them in one of their local, obviously not nationwide because that would be crazy, but one of their local franchisees or stores, or I don't know what you call them, to us. So that's kind of a foot in the door for something very exciting. So we'll probably show you all those coffee grounds and whatnot that we'll be collecting from them in the next couple of videos. So kind of cool. I'm excited. So thanks for watching. This is what we do here on the farm. We've got plenty going on between the worms, the chickens, which you can hear in here, the cows. The pigs are coming in 2 weeks. We're getting 2 more pigs. I already have a date for that, or a week and a half, I guess. So we'll have those. So let me know what types of things you want to see, and we'll get these breeding bins going, and I'll show you that in the coming weeks. All right, thanks for watching. Take care. Come on, buddy, run, run.